Hey guys, alright, so I said that we would put something together for some foam rolling, and because runners should be foam rolling on a regular basis, I'm just going to talk about the hows and the whys really quick, and then my wife Lauren has demonstrated a lot of the movements better than I can. Generally, she has taught courses on this stuff, so I let her kind of take the lead on some of the stuff as well. The best time for foam rolling, in my opinion, is after movement. So after a run, after a workout, when your muscles are already somewhat pliable and warmed up, and the temperature of your muscle is higher than if you're sedentary. You can do it from sedentary, but it's just better when you're warmed up, like any type of stretching or rehab, for that matter. So the main goal is to loosen up the muscle at the belly, where we loosen up the muscle at the origin and insertion with some static stuff or some different dynamic movements. Helping to loosen up the muscle at the belly is really important, because we get tight there, and there's not a lot of other ways to do that besides massage and making sure that we increase blood flow in those areas. So the blood flow is going to help with recuperation and recovery between workouts. So anyway, with all of that being said, most of the time people just want to know how to do some stuff. So what my recommendation will be to you guys is take the 4 or 5 exercises that Lauren shows you here in a second. So she shows you an IT band stretch roll that you can do. She shows you hamstrings with external and internal rotation. She shows you quad with external and internal rotation. And she shows you a calf exercise. So if you just take 30 seconds and go through each of those rolls 2 to 3 times, that's going to give you about 10 to 15 minutes of rolling. And really you just want to put the video on, watch how she's doing it, and go from there. I'm going to show you guys a couple of variations that I like that are a little different than what she does, because I think because I'm a little bit bigger, I don't typically feel like I get enough weight on for the quad. So instead of doing a 2-legged quad stretch, I like to just do one. So I bring this outside leg outside of the roller, so only one leg's going to be on there, and I put my hip bone right on the roller, and then I bring this leg out wide, and I come out externally. So we come on the outside part of our quad, close to our IT band, all the way down to our knee, and then back up. Or sometimes I'll come back up internally. So I'll come back up on the VMO, so your inside quad muscle. It's a little tricky, but you get out wide a little bit. And you can feel towards the end that you're getting your hip flexors, so inside your quad on the way up a little bit. That helps a lot. I can get a lot more pressure on it because those are pretty tight for me from sitting a lot when I'm doing podcasting and stuff like that. And then for the calf, she shows a good roll idea. Same thing for me. I don't get enough tension from that. So I like to come across right here and put a little bit more weight on my calf, especially up near the top, near the head, and that helps a lot. And then I just roll myself back. And you'll notice, like, if you don't have the strength to hold yourself up, that gets a little tricky. But it just takes a little practice. If you just do that roll back and forth without crab walking, you're going to get a lot more pressure. So with the 5 to 7 exercises we showed you, if you just go try them for about 30 seconds a pop, get comfortable with it, then we'll start going higher level with the foam rolling. So thanks a lot, guys.
Okay, so now we are going to talk about foam rolling for your hamstrings and your calf muscles. I'm going to go over a couple different ways to roll those different muscle groups so you're able to recover, also help to break down a little bit of scar tissue and promote blood flow for better recovery. So we're going to sit down here on our roller and start with the roll for the hamstrings. So we want to start at the very top. We're going to start with our feet pointing straight ahead, and we're going to kind of crab walk ourselves backwards. Stop just before the back of the knees and crab walk yourself forwards. Now this is a little difficult in high grass, but you want to find maybe a flatter surface, and you want to just keep moving. Ideally you're not stopping at any point. Even if you have a painful spot, you just push right through it nice and slowly. All right, next we're going to do external rotation to kind of get the outside hamstring muscles. So externally rotate those feet and knees and roll back and forth. Okay, then internal rotation, pointing the toes in. Okay, this is getting the inner hamstring muscles. Those can be a little more tender sometimes on runners. And those are the basic hamstring rolls. Next we're going to move on to the calf muscles. So again, we'll start in the meaty part of the calf muscle. You do never want to roll the back of your knees. So we'll lift ourselves up. It's a little bit of a workout to walk yourself down, and then all the way down to the attachment at your heel. Back and forth. Keep moving. Okay, so I have forwards. Again, I can do external rotation to get the outside calf muscles. And then internal rotation. the inner calf muscles. And I can also roll like this instead of moving my hands and doing that crab walk if your arms are long enough and you have the strength. All right. Okay, so now we are going to go over the different rolls for your quads and your IT band. I love quads. My quads get super tight, so this is kind of a fun one. Again, don't roll over your kneecaps. So I'm going to start in the middle part of your quad muscles. And we want to go into kind of an army crawl position here. And we're going to crawl ourselves forward just before the knee. And then crawl ourselves backwards all the way up to the hip. You can roll over that hip a little bit. So you want to keep your back flat and kind of engage the core. Okay, to keep that back flat. And back and forth again, just rolling over those knots, getting that deep tissue massage. Next, we'll again do that external rotation through the knees. Externally rotate the legs. This gets the inner quad muscles, which can get super tight. Keep moving. And then we'll do that internal rotation to get the outer part of the quad muscles back and forth. All right, next, IT band. This is one of the tightest areas for runners. When your IT band's tight, it can really pull on that kneecap at the attachment and cause tracking issues. So it's very important to make sure those IT bands are nice and loose. So you want to start on the side, and we'll also hit the glutes. We'll actually start at the glute. We'll start with the leg. We're going to be rolling kind of on the bottom or straight, the leg straight. And we'll start with a glute roll. So we'll roll back and forth over the glute, right at the hamstring attachment all the way up to the top of the glute. And you want to kind of open up this leg, point your knee, the inside of the knee towards the ceiling or the sky. Roll out that meaty part of the glute here. See if you can find any points of tension or knots. Okay, then we're going to transition the leg over to provide some more support and take some weight off our body. As we turn ourselves, so our chest will now be facing the ground, and we walk ourselves using this leg to keep some of our body weight distributed off of that bottom leg. Roll all the way to the side of your knee, and then all the way back to the attachment at your hip. Okay, the IT band starts up here, and it goes all the way down the side of your leg to the kneecap. So we're gonna walk ourselves down, and this can be quite painful for some people. So really try to use your arms and legs to keep some of your weight off your body, and then continue to roll. Push through those spots that are a little more painful, back and forth. Now, if you're a pro at this, a way to make it a little more challenging, right here, okay? Now I'm putting more weight on that IT band and getting a deeper roll. And then you'd switch sides.